guys, welcome back to Lost in My Library. My name is Kate, and today I am doing my October wrap-up. So, in the month of October, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Did I read 8? I think I read it. 9 books. So let's talk about them. So the first book I read was first book we're going to talk about is The Sign of 4 by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the second Sherlock Holmes novel written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I liked it a lot better than the first one, which was A Study in Scarlet, because it wasn't as slow and just bring everything to standstill with a villain backstory. I really did enjoy it, though, much better. I didn't like it as much as The Hound of the Baskervilles, but I think this is also a very good setup. It's very unlike the Sherlock adaptation, so don't go into it thinking that the Sherlock adaptation did this, because it didn't. I think they just took the name and ran, because I think the name because it's John and Mary's wedding that is the sign of 3, and that's the name, spoilers, the sign that Mary's pregnant. So, yeah, anyways, moving on. Let's talk about Mistborn. This lovely little beauty, this little short little beauty, by Brandon Sanderson. I loved it. It's so good. I have not given Brandon Sanderson anything less than 4 stars. I love, just because Starsight was kind of disappointing compared to Skyward, but in no way, shape, or form is it a bad book or average book. It's just not as up there as Skyward. But oh my goodness, this had me sobbing at the end because of what happened. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't want it to happen. Like, oh my goodness. My only complaint is the love interest in this book, who I haven't fully trusted. I don't fully trust I think he's becoming a main character in the rest of the series. I don't know if I'm ready to fully accept that just yet with what happened in the end, the death of a character. Yeah, I thought this was a lot better than Elantris, which was crazy because I loved Elantris. So this is 5 stars as well. So then we move on to, oh, it flipped. Okay. So let's talk about Dune. We go from 5 stars to 2 stars. I did not like Dune. I have a whole vlog about it. You can go watch it if you'd like. I did not like Dune. So, Dune is a classic, and I have so many. I've blocked it out of my memory. I forgot I read this last month, to be honest. I'm still bothered by the main character's name being Paul and his mother being named Jessica, and it's just, I didn't like it, and sci-fi geek nerds who love it can come after me, but whatever, I didn't like it. Will not be continuing that series. Then I read Moriarty by Anthony Horowitz. This is a Sherlock Holmes retelling. The back is what intrigued me, and it's actually the first line of the book, so it's not giving away anything. It says, "Does anyone really believe what happened at the Reichenbach Falls? A great many accounts have been written, but it seems to me that all of them left something to be desired, which is to say, the truth." And I thought I had, like, I thought I knew. I really thought I knew what was going on. I didn't. It was really fun to see Anthony Jones, who is the one of the main characters. He's not the narrator of the story, but he works with the main character of this story. His first appearance is in The Sign of Four, so it was really nice to kind of see this is where Anthony Jones began, and then this is a story set after The Sign of Four. Of course, that's set before the Reichenbach Falls. This is set after Reichenbach Falls. I mean, like, right after this, the Reichenbach Falls, the final problem, and I loved it. I love this book so much. It had me going. It's such a good story, and I think it might just be 4.5 stars, maybe. I think I put it 5 stars, but I think looking back on it, it's more like 4.5 stars. It's not a perfect book, but I really enjoyed it. I was just the ending. Okay, I'm not over the ending. Alright, then I read Fun Home by Alison Bechdel. This is a autobiographical comic book that we were going to read at one point. It was thought that we were going to read for my women literature class, and we never read it, but I still ended up with the book because she didn't take it off the list for us to read. I'm really surprised it got that far because of how conservative my school was. Yeah, I'm surprised it got that far because of how it's very graphic in some parts, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm not rating it because I don't want to rate a person's life, like the writing, the drawings. The drawings are good, great. I don't want to judge somebody's life, so I'm not giving a rating, but I think it's a very good book. It explores sexuality. It talks about dealing with a emotionally abusive father. Talks about abuse and going through abuse. So I really enjoyed Fun Home. So highly recommend it. It's short. It's a quick read. So if you want to pick it up, highly recommend. Let's talk about the ride-along. So last month we read House of Hades and Blood of Olympus, which are the last 2 books in the Heroes of Olympus series. 5 stars. This is the best. This one specifically, beautiful. House of Hades, I think, is the best book Rick Riordan has ever written. It's got everything. Everything you possibly could want in a book. I think it has it all. And it also follows Percy and Annabeth for half of it. Just them. I mean, granted, they're in the Greek version of hell. So, and not even just hell, but monster hell. So, these monsters want to kill them. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then Blood of Olympus is such a good ending to the Heroes of Olympus series. We see characters who hadn't been fleshed out be fleshed out, and we got different perspectives from Raina, Nico, and Coach Hedge he didn't get a perspective, but he was there, so it was a nice little group of like these 3 characters who aren't part of the 7, but we got perspectives of what's happening on their end versus what the 7 is doing. And characters like Leo and Jason, who I've had a problem with in the past about Jason being overpowered, bland character. He has a lot more of a character arc and character development in this story, and I just love Leo. We all just love Leo. I think it's a great ending to the series, and I can't wait to read the Trials of Apollo, but we're not reading the Trials of Apollo this month. We are reading the Kane Chronicles this month. We did switch the two. We're not reading Magnus Chase after Kane Chronicles. We're going to read Magnus Chase after Trials of Apollo. So next, after we read the Kane Chronicles, it's not going to affect this month, but next month we're going to read the Serpent Shadow, which is the 3rd book in the Kane Chronicles series, and then we're going to start the Trials of Apollo series, which I think is the Hidden Oracle. I think that's the 1st book in the Trials of Apollo series. I have it right here. I think. It fell. I think it's right here. This might be Magnus Chase. No, it's Trials of Apollo. Yeah. Hidden Oracle. So, we'll start that. Just because I wanted to get into the sequel series, and I don't know how much, because I know Percy and Annabeth show up in the Magnus Chase series, so I don't know how much spoilers for the Trials of Apollo series is in Magnus Chase. If by accident, I don't know how much you have to read, so we made the executive decision to read Trials of Apollo next. Alright. So we talked about I Rode Along. Let's talk, and then finally we're going to talk about the 2 comic book series I read this month. The first one being Arkham Asylum, Living Hell. And I loved this story. This story is so good. It's messed up, but it's so good. I think y'all should just go and read it. It's so good. So, this doesn't have, Batman's in it, but only like 2 scenes in the entire thing. So it's an Arkham Asylum story without Batman, and I loved it. So it's about in the beginning, it's about a businessman who has conned a ton of people out of their money, and he's been taken to court, and he pleads insanity, and he does this in Gotham, and the judge says, well, you're pleading insanity, we're going to throw you in our asylum, which happens to be Arkham Asylum. So this regular businessman, tycoon dude gets thrown into Arkham Asylum with with Batman's rogue gallery. And yeah, it's just him trying to survive this, basically. And Humpty Dumpty, who is kind of a weird villain for Batman, but he plays a big role in this. And I just really, really enjoyed this story in following him in Arkham Asylum. Somebody who can't defend themselves like Batman, who Bruce Wayne has been thrown into Arkham Asylum before. But obviously Bruce Wayne is Batman, so he can handle himself. So this was a story of somebody who is rich and seems to have everything, kind of like Batman, like Bruce Wayne, but like an evil version of Bruce Wayne, obviously. Getting thrown there not having what Bruce Wayne has in terms of training and fighting and everything. So the last book I read was Arkham Manor, and this was the story about Arkham Asylum getting blown up, destroyed, and they need a new place, and Bruce Wayne is no longer living in the Wayne Manor. It has been given over to the city, and the city decides to make Wayne Manor into Arkham Manor until they can build a new place for Arkham Asylum. And I enjoyed it. There's a murder, and Bruce Wayne decides to go undercover and go in himself. It's okay. It's short. I didn't enjoy it as much as the Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum, I'm giving 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna give Arkham Manor 3 stars. It's an enjoyable little series, but and it's creepy because there's one part where Zaz, who is scary, gets brutally tortured by the killer that's on the loose, and it's that sent shivers down my spine when I read that part and saw it. Ooh, so creepy. Okay. Anyways, so that's all that I read this month. I had a decent reading month. I had a couple of stinkers, but I think I had an overall really good reading month this month. So thank you guys for watching my October wrap up, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.